Times have been tough, no doubt about it. Tough on all of us. But you know what? So be it. The Workers Club. I love the name.
Okay, there's a reason why I'm thinking this. No, my wife was like, I'm going out to the hardware store, do you want me to grab you anything? And I was like, I laughed, I was like, what would you ever, get me? It's not registering with you what I'm getting up to in the kitchen sometimes. And she came back a couple hours, to the point I texted her, I was like, I'm recording at 9, you better get back. And she brought back, she's like, hey, it's gluten-free. I expected that she'd bring back seltzers, just like, I don't know.
Is gluten-free a thing we're doing?
That's what I do. I was diagnosed with celiac disease, and I was like, all right.
Not a real
I'm
thing.
sorry. I was. Look, all I have is my anecdotal evidence of myself where
I thought the Wilsons had superior genes, and you have a gross ass belly button and gluten disease, and when's that getting fixed?
I tell you, whenever I want, he was like 80% chance it's not going to get any bigger, and you can just like live with it for years. And if it's bothering you, you take some Tylenol, you put some ice on it, and but I'll get it taken care of here. Yeah. And then he's like, don't aggravate it. I was like, okay. Because I was like, well, I need to take care of this cough then. And he was like, sounds good. Yeah, that's a good idea. And he left. He's good to meet you. I'm a month out if you schedule with me.
How invasive is that?
That was wild too. He was like, we can do it one way or this way. And the one way of mesh, they put like a mesh gimmick, and then that, no matter how big or small it is, they're gonna put the same amount of mesh, or not quite, but like they're gonna definitely put more. They're gonna make a bigger hole to put the mesh in, and it takes a bunch of stitches, and it's going into your like abdomen wall. And he was like, so here's the catch on that, like, you probably won't tear again if you do that. It's like a 2% chance you'll ever tear again. But because we're going in so deep and we're doing so many stitches and cuts that you'll have microscopic nerve endings in there, and there's a chance that we cut one and we can't see them, so we're gonna cut them, and we don't mean to, and you'll be in chronic pain for the rest of your life.
Oh, Jesus.
And you put like that at like, that's like a 10% chance. And I was like, I don't like that.
Yeah, I don't either.
But he was like, yours is small enough. He was like, there's another one called Stitch, which is like, we just cut your little button, and then we go, we just stitch it closed, and we go boop, and then go beep, beep. And he was like, that's 20% chance you'll re-tear. And I was like, I like that better than the 10 of the chronic pain.
Yeah.
Roll the dice on 20 that I have to go back in. They're gonna like stitch me again.
Yeah.
Especially if you're like, you can live with it. If it's he was like, he said something weird where he said, I had a hernia for 15 years and finally got it taken care of after I just couldn't do my job anymore. And I was like, you're a surgeon. Like, how bad was it getting? Like, where you're like hopping foot to foot, being like, oh, goddamn, this fucking thing. Oh. I was like, all right, well, interesting. But I said, I got some traveling, I got to do. I don't want to have an open decision. He's like, smart. I was like, all right.
Yeah.
I guess I'm going to do my trips. Other than that, hernia thing, and just dealing with that. And I was messaging with Gus, just being like, as he knows, like, man, just the doc, like getting appointments, and like, sometimes you get a big vibe of like, just move it along. All right, we've heard enough.
Yeah.
You're heard. All right. What chapter? 7 to 11, right?
7
Is that
to 11.
what we did?
Yeah.
7 to 11. Every time I start this book, and I said it before, I'm always like, here we go.
That Velvet Underground shirt.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, Loaded's the best album.
Yes. It's like one of the few graphic tees I wear to work. I usually just wear blank tees. So then the young kids are like, well, they don't know the band, but they're like, oh, he's cool. Even though they have no. If I said, what is this? They didn't know.
Sure.
Every time I start reading this book, I'm like, this is gonna be such a grind. And then he kind of comes. At some point, he comes through where I'm like, all right, I'm listening.
Yeah.
There were multiple times in these chapters where I said out loud, "Oh my god," and which is probably not the reaction he wanted in those times, but he's getting an out loud reaction where I'm like, Jesus Christ.
Hit record.
Oh, I've been recording. I'm on top of it.
Oh, you are? Okay, sorry.
Yeah, we've been recording.
Okay, Workers Club, Part 3, Chapter 7.
Mm-hmm.
Want me to go ahead?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so this is our present day flash forward thing.
Yeah.
First sentence, arms flail over the metal barriers, providing a tentacular display.
I have that highlighted as well.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it gets, I think, is it getting worse with the book? His adverbs and adjectives and just like really I was messaging you, I was like, he describes every minor character. Like I know the face shape of every minor person.
Oh yeah. I got a couple of those highlighted. So he's starting with the WWO.
Yeah.
Right. Nothing really happens in the flash forward.
No, nothing really does. Yeah, it stalls out his little ring that he's going to. It finally stops in the middle of the aisle. So he's like,
"Oh, that's what happens here." That's
it stops out, and he's already been out there for 6 minutes because we clocked. He said it's double the song, and so he's barely in the middle. So now it's 6 minutes on, and now it's stalled. Now he doesn't know what to do.
Yeah.
You see Mickey, the club-footed guard. Just want to note that. Back at the Southern, we're back at the Southern Coliseum.
Oh, right, because the King, Eddie Rampart, asked him how was New York, and he already knows he signed, even though he didn't tell him.
Yeah, I put a lot into promoting you, Michael.
He calls his mom, blah, blah, blah.
I had one thing I just want to note was just I like that he was trying to come up with a company name of like trying to express to her what being hired by the WWO is akin to, and he threw out the Kodak Incorporated, and then he gives you a little bit of information. The Kodak had a large plant on the highway that ran between Jackson, Nashville, and Memphis. Okay.
Yeah. I don't know why he tells his mom. The WWO is known as the land of the gimmick, Okay.
Yeah, I know.
I don't think mom knows what a
Punk
gimmick
read
is.
this book and was like, land of the giants, land of the gimmick. I do like, he has a lot of moments, the whole book, but a lot of these chapters here where I was like, it's that thing where he's like, this is pretty cool that this guy's doing it, and it's like, no, he sounds like weird.
Yeah.
She calls him Michael, and he's like, fuck Michael. And she's like, oh, Jesus Christ, all right.
Yeah.
Goodbye, wild man.
Yeah, I have no doubt this guy is like this, but he doesn't really have a personality or an inner monologue.
Yeah.
Right? He doesn't really self-reflect in an honest way. He's just getting fucked up all the time.
No,
he doesn't.
The character, is which I don't. Yeah, I wonder if the author ever had self-reflection. I'm pretty sure he was living in his, from what I can gather, and I don't want. He was living in the I'm Bukowski, I'm Party, I'm Hunter S. Thompson.
It was a shitty LA apartment for sure.
Yes, he's living in an apartment, but he's like, I'm doing it. And he's like, doing what? But he can self-publish, he had that ability to do that.
Yeah. But I like Mom wants him to be an artist gimmick. And he says, I can see it now, portrait of the artist as a young professional wrestler. So
I know. Yeah.
I appreciate the Joyce.
Yes. But then he's still like, do you think that's funny?
She says that. That's right.
He snaps, do you think that's funny? She's like, I'm joking. And then the mom says, don't. Oh, no, is this Shawna?
Yeah.
Oh, Shawna, I'm sorry. Yeah, mom hangs up, and then he keeps going on with Shawna. Sorry, yeah. That's one of those things where he just kind of blends into the next one.
Yeah.
Shawna was also curious about my identity.
Yeah.
So she makes fun of him. She teases him, and then he says, do you think that's funny? Just don't pull me into one of your wild man rages. So he's a roid user. He's roid raging out.
Yeah.
He's sketched recently a field of faces whose only features were wailing mouths, which is like the crowd. Got it. Yes. Okay. But artsy.
Wailing mouths. I picture. You ever see
It's
the
like
wall?
the scream. Oh, I was thinking like Van Gogh's like.
Okay, I'm thinking of like the
That's what I was
kids
looking at.
in the wall.
Yeah,
who
yeah.
have just like a scream face.
Yeah, I was picturing he just looked at like the Van Gogh painting and was like, I'll just do that over and over again.
So what he calls
BJ, yeah, he talks to BJ. And I like belched out laughter. Oh, I did have a note. Okay, so it's supposed to be like a very like, man, these guys have been through a lot. And then he just recaps the things he wrote about, and it's like 3 things over 2 years, and it's like I guess he's like, remember that it's we went to Tijuana and smuggled steroids. I was like, yeah, that was chapter 2 or 3, I think. Yeah,
right, and even in his real timeline, it's not that long ago.
No, yeah, a lot of this he's like, man, I've wrestled for something. It's like you've been wrestling for 2 years, and you're already at like the pinnacle.
Yeah.
So I highlight at some point somebody says sides instead of besides, and I was like, that's not a thing. No one says sides.
There's another really bad insider term coming up later. I've got it highlighted. It's a jazz term. I'll just say that much.
Okay. When the jazz stuff was coming up, I was like, yeah, I hope Larry knows more, because some of it was just like, I don't know, like something.
So I don't really give a shit about
puzzle. This is okay. So let's let's just. Here's the recap of this. BJ is like, I'm going home. I'm going back. I talked to my dad. I talked to my future wife. I'm quitting. He's like, you love this shit, which I'm like, does he? I don't know. Like, I guess. His voice scratched BJ's voice scratched the moist air at one point. He keeps looking at the beers and he keeps coming up with different things like precious aluminum corpses, a cast.
Well, that's a great paragraph. I mean,
yes. Yeah.
I stared at the box full of empty beer cans for a long time until I realized I was crying.
Yes. Which, okay, I was kind of on the lookout for it because it's always kind of a sign of a bad writer, but he started doing it a lot more. I started at least noticing it more. When you're like not realizing what your face is doing, the person is like, all of a sudden I was laughing, and it's like, well, that's not how bodies work. Like, it means you're an insane person if you're like, what's happening? Or like, I felt a smile creep. You felt it. You're smiling. You're just smiling. So then, yeah, he's crying. It's a movie. I don't know. He's like, you're not in a movie. You don't. What's this? What's happening? But
he wanted the. Yes. Yeah, sorry. Go ahead. I love this fucking paragraph.
All it was a box of empty beer cans. I wanted it to be more. A casket of dead soldiers, a cache of rare jewels, anything rare and holy. A casket of dead soldiers.
Yeah, that's. What are you doing with that?
What? Is that rare or is that holy? What's happening? I think he was probably thinking like how he calls sometimes dead soldiers, and then he's just like, I don't know, he's trying to do something maybe. That's the only thought I could come up with is he was thinking dead soldiers cans. Maybe it's real dead soldiers.
But he squashes the tears with a Valium and goes night.
Yes.
Okay, and then he's got to finish out his Memphis dates, and he's going to take on Bruiser Brody. And we got the
Crusher
Bruiser Brody
Cruz.
Lex Luger angle going on here.
Yes. Yeah, I'm just reading this. I'm going, okay, he's introducing. What's he gonna do with Bruiser Brody? He's got Crusher Cruz. He's and so he assumes he's kind of like, okay, and then somebody's like, yo, man, he's trying to fuck you up. Is this before? Is that after he talks to Crusher, and Crusher goes, you're the punk that's going to the WWO, huh? And he's like, and he's like, Rockhart's a fag.
Yeah,
Logan's
he gets warned
a fag.
after this.
Yeah, they're all fags. And they must be looking for young boys to molest. It's like, Bruiser Brody worked with the McMahons. I don't think he's running around being like, everybody's a man. I laughed very hard at, the guy that warns them is a guy going by Pud Gator Bear, ... in Indian Gimmick. And it's like,
yes.
Pud Gator Bear in Indian Gimmick. Okay. So he says
he probably worked with one of the young bloods on the indie scene.
Yeah.
One of the fake ones.
Yeah. Or it's okay. Or is it?
Well, yeah, he's talking to a guy named Jesse.
Oh yeah, Jesse says, "Hey, by the way, this guy Pud Gator Bear with an Indian gimmick." That's too. I shook my head. I was like, "Is this a story that I've never heard?" Where the Bruiser Brody character broke both of his arms, just straight up broke both of his arms, and then pulled the guy over him to be like, "There, I've lost you."
Yeah.
And I was like, "That's insane." I've never heard of that. I've never seen it. So then he's getting like scared or anxious. He's like, this isn't gonna happen to me. And he gets into it with Rampart,
yeah.
who has a pistol that he carries. I think.
Well, but he jumps into Rampart's dressing room while Rampart is shaving his forearms.
That's right. Yes, I do have that. I think I have.
Which, I guess
like,
that's
mark.
not silly if you're taping your wrists.
But then you know what this book does to me? I start thinking, I'm like thinking about Jerry Lawler and trying to picture his arms, and I'm going, did he shave his?
Nah, they're hairy as hell.
Okay, I was like, have I always just not looked at his arms? Is he giving me some kind of information? But then I'm picturing Jerry Lawler being like, with his knee up on a stool. So then he says, why does he's I don't have a lot highlighted here because I was probably just going, what's happening?
They get in a fight. Wild Man steals the gun and pistol whips him.
He pistol whips him. And the people are kind of like,
and then he shoots the gun in the air.
Yeah. I remember that. He's like, yo, my goodbye. And I was just like, what? And then BJ's like, hey, let's go, let's leave. He doesn't know that what my car looks like. Yeah. And
he tells BJ's going to quit wrestling.
Yeah. And BJ's like, well, don't do that. He hurls the gun. He hurled the thing into a pool of darkness, just beyond the marquee's dull blaze. By the way, BJ Reggett, he goes, damn. He repeats wistfully. But BJ asks him about the touching thing. That's been the major theme of the whole book. Of, am I real? And I'm going to touch myself, make sure I'm real. And he's like, what's up with the touching stuff? I have a section highlighted.
I mean,
so BJ's like waiting for an answer.
I mean, it's kind of an explanation because he says when he's in character, he doesn't do it. So is that why he stays in character all the time?
That's the idea. I have some reason. I'm going to read this because I have it highlighted. I'm going to figure out. I have to remember. It's been a minute since I've read this chapter. Why I turned to the houses and mailboxes hurtling by. I tried to imagine who they belonged to and what their families did every year at the holidays or whatever. But they were going too fast, and I eventually surrendered to a gentle weariness. I was tired of it, to be honest. I guess I probably highlighted that because I'm thinking his imagination is like, what are the families? What are they doing on their holidays? And then he's like, all these houses are going to by. He just has one family almost locked in his mind. He's like, oh, on to the next one. It's like, yeah, you're in a car. Just again, weird thing where I'm like, is this guy? I think he's also writing like, and one day this will be a screenplay and it'll be a movie, and if it was a movie, you'd be intercutting things he's thinking as the houses are going by.
Sure.
And like, it doesn't work when you're writing it out, and you're like, well, this guy just looks like a maniac. Where he's like, and he's like tired from overworking his brain. So BJ says goodbye.
They sleep in the car, right?
Yeah. They go to the diner. He loves a diner. He calls up the WWO, and they're like, hey, he's like, hey, I quit. And they go, "You need to be in Kansas City, Denver. I can't remember."
Kansas City tonight.
Yeah. Oh, and you better believe they say goodbye, BJ.
Well, but Thomas Rockart or Vince McMahon, he likes that he fucked up Jerry Lawler.
Yeah, he does.
He says,
enjoys
"Great
it.
job, Michael. That fucking Rampart's known for being an asshole. About time someone laid him out. With that kind of aggressiveness, you'll do fine with Stafford.
Yeah.
Because Rand Stafford's the guy he's got to shoot on."
Oh yeah, he's getting hired to shoot on him. Which again, I won't even. We established it. When did he pick up this rep? When has it ever happened?
He shot once in school.
That's right. All the way to, holy shit. I did like that they did the him and his buddy. They lock hands and they put their heads together like true hombres, and out of nowhere he just is like he looks up at BJ's eyes as they're like doing this. He's like his iris is like green planets. It's like, oh, okay.
Yeah, BJ drives him to Kansas City, then goes home.
Yep. And so we go into the first time he meets Gorilla Monsoon. And of course he was stuffing a Twinkie into his mouth, and he gets to write like kind of like that Mark Twain thing where I'm gonna write exactly what it's gonna sound like. And he's like, "Who damn?" And it's like, okay. And he introduces himself. And he's seeing puddles of colored liquid
what
in
kind
the
of
arena.
fucking arena is this? This isn't Kemper, is it?
And he's like, I wondered just idly, if it was gasoline, you'd know if it was, or just water. Well, it's colored from the Kansas City sewer system. So it's just like, what in the world? Did he go to like some really ramshackle building in Kansas City, and he was just like, the puddles, man, the puddles.
Yeah.
He meets Rob Robertson, and he's like, "Oh, this is the guy." And
Right.
you better believe Rob Robertson. The first thing he says is, "You a face or a heel?" He cooed.
Well, but hang on. When he's talking to Hippo's asking him like, "What's your gimmick?" And Hippo says, "Worry about it later." And then he waved a half-eaten Twinkie like a magic wand.
Yes. And of course, I just kind of touch it. And then, of course, every time he shows up, it's like, boy, here we go again. He's got a piece of food. Or something.
I love that recurring bit, actually. It's always something.
Look, I'm waiting. Is it going to escalate it, or is it just always going to be crap food?
But I like he accidentally tells Rob Robertson he can work both ways and then gets scared of what he just said.
He immediately freezes up after he says that.
And says, "I'm married."
I did like the name. Somebody throws out. Somebody went by Nerve Glandon. I was like, oof, that's tough. He also munched on that Twinkie with absent savagery, which I was trying to also picture that absent. He's just. He's looking up at the sky and just.
I think that's what Ben Peller is an absent savage.
He's not all there. Yeah, he's not all there, but he's.
Don't let him worry you.
He says probably a good idea that he thinks you're married. So it's like, is he gonna assault these people? Pat Patterson's
Well, I just like
assaulting
that. Patterson. I mean, Gorilla's just. He knows it happens, but it's just kind of wacky.
Yeah. Yes. So he was like, "Oh man, I'm in the dressing room. I was watching these guys just 3 years ago," which again underlines like where he's just like, "I'm a vet."
Yeah.
Big Jim Pitbull, who I think is Junkyard, I assume.
I guess, but I don't know if Junkyard would read the money section of the USA Today.
I know. He throws in these little things, and I'm like, is he trying to make everybody seem interesting?
But Pitbull, yeah, you're right. Yeah,
I think so.
Because sometimes it's like sometimes it's a 1-to-1 thing, like with Hippo. But then other times, like there's a character in here. It's Beastie. Beastie's dad was Stu Hart, basically.
Yeah,
trained in the pit.
But you would think he'd be Lanny Poffo. Unless, is Beastie supposed to be Bret Hart? I always thought Beastie was supposed to be Elizabeth and Savage.
No, it's definitely Savage.
Okay.
But then
yeah,
Bret Hart's
backstory.
Like,
yeah, it's like, what the?
Yeah. We got Officer O'Malley, who's a Jewish guy named Walter Schwartz.
But that's Boss Man. It's, or at least
Okay.
the top gimmick. You know,
Yeah.
the Soul Taker is the Undertaker.
Yeah.
Who's Trevor, which I chuckled at. Like, it's the Soul Taker, Trevor. Sledge, who is Nails.
Yes.
A squat man with a perpetually red face and thin blonde hair, who is a prisoner. Or, like, he's working a feud with O'Malley.
Right.
Shoot hard, said the Ricky the when they found out he was wrestling the guy, Staffer. They said shoot hard. Then he goes into Ricky the $1 billion baby, you know, his friend BJ's hero, into like the whole thing, and then he's flexing. Stafford comes in.
Yep.
And he says, "Hey, you want to go over some spots?" He's like, "Spots? Who are you?" And he's all pissed off. And
He calls him Needle Dick.
yes, he does. Which
I mean, how does this guy exist? I mean,
I don't.
how has anybody not killed him yet? We gotta wait for this
Hey,
young kid.
Yeah, he goes, "Hey, Needle Dick." He's yelling at our hero. "You gonna fucking propose or something?" Needle Dick. Which, boy, that it locks and loads. Don't want to spoil anything, but it locks and loads for our main guy. Which then is like, I wonder if that happened to him, where somebody said something. He's like, "I got it." So he's like, "I don't want to do anything with this guy. I just want the kid to put me over." You know.
Well, Patterson Robertson tells him to make it a cheap victory with Stafford going over, and Stafford says, "No way, this kid's doing a clean job."
Mm-hmm. And I told you, I was kind of confused on this. Like, so they go into the ring, and Stafford's gimmick is that he's a hockey player. Which, we were just talking about that. Who was the hockey player in the Goon? Who was the... Yeah. Oh, we were talking about this. Gus and Sudi and Rocket League. Somehow the Goon came up.
Bill Irwin, right?
Yes. So is this supposed to be Bill? Or is this supposed to be... I was like...
see it be. Well, I mean, he didn't have the Goon gimmick yet.
But he goes, which
Although,
is funny.
No, because he's writing this in 2000. So, yeah.
Yeah,
probably could
he's
be.
writing this 2000. All these games, he's like, it's the early 90s. So the guy basically beats the shit out of him with a hockey stick. And then he hides under the ring, right?
Is that that's this first match? That's right. Okay.
Yes.
This is just I
yeah,
don't
it
even
is.
care
It's
about
everywhere.
This Stafford shooting fucking story.
I lost complete. Whenever he's in the ring, I lose complete interest, which I don't know if that was his intention or not, or it could speak to like he never. I don't know how many matches he ever had in his whole life, but like maybe he's just kind of like.
Yeah. I mean, so Stafford beats him up the first time. Beats the shit out of him.
Yes, he does. And then he's like, "I'm gonna kill that guy." So he goes to his hotel room. Am I correct? And he starts cutting himself.
Yes. He takes a cup of Valium, stares at himself in the mirror, gets real deep.
Touch a reflection. Touch it. He's staring at himself in the mirror while blood pours down his face.
Yeah.
I slowly undid my belt, looping it through the air like a lasso. The metal Coca-Cola belt buckle gave it a substantial weight. I bought it years ago because it reminded me of a title belt.
Okay. Listen.
All right.
I liked my Boy Scout belt for the same reason.
And often young Larry was blading and
no, I mean the belt had
whipping his Boy Scout belt. It's real. I had the dream again that night, where he has this recurring dream where a masked man is like beating him and pinning him, and he has the Darth Vader moment, the very tropey moment of the guy that's been pinning him and beating him in his dream.
That is
it's him. He pulls off his mask. It's him.
Yeah. Chapter 8
is called 8. Yeah. I underlined that. I was like, I love picturing this guy riding it and being like, nice. Like, just constantly patting himself on the back, moving on. Very good.
I mean, it'd be clever if something with the number 8 happened in the chapter.
I didn't even think about that the whole chapter. I just
so
was
really,
reading
it's
it. I
just
never
fucking
even thought
lazy. You couldn't come up with a fucking. Oh well.
that.
Nothing
What's the
really
dog?
happens with the flash forward. People are spitting tobacco juice again with tobacco.
Oh yeah, that's a big. He must have been spit on at some point. And it was like the worst moment in his life.
Yeah.
I do like he takes a security guard's hat and he flings it into the crowd, and people are like, okay, and he goes, I'm breaking the rules for them. They love it. There's the guy with the tobacco juice. You better believe he's a tall, thin man with a round moon-like face, with hair so blonde it's almost white.
Who's
So
carrying a
then-
coffee
so-
jar? It says in his hands is a large coffee
Yeah,
jar
yeah,
to spit
yeah, he's
into,
got-
sure, but not a fucking pop can or something.
I guess the idea is that this guy's been
Whole
spitting so
Maxwell
much
House
in this
can?
thing, and he's been dumping it on people. But then it's like, wouldn't it be easier with a little one than just a big one? You're like, nothing came out. So then he flashes back, and he's getting hockey gear. And this is one of those things where I'm like, what's happening? I don't know what's going on. He loves to flash back in his flashbacks, and then go, and that's what happened. And you're like, oh, okay. But you're confused for at least 5 paragraphs.
Yeah.
And what's revealed is he's talking to Jake the Snake, Jimmy the Python Jugular, and with his snake choker, and some other guy. Oh, $1 billion Baby, and he's like, my new gimmick is the chameleon.
What a stupid gimmick.
Well, yeah, I don't even want to get it. Yes, Jake the Snake dies all the time. Again, stories he's heard at 2000. You're probably starting to read like little stories and myths and stuff like that.
No, but I've heard Jake say that snakes only last a month.
Yeah. That's why I think some of those he's like just put urban legends in to be like, I heard about this. I don't know.
Yeah.
So he's gonna be Canadian, and he keeps talking. He's like very proud of his Canadian accent. He keeps going, and man, my oot is like perfect. By the way, when he tells them that he's just simply like, they're like, you're gonna be Canadian. And he's like, yep, and their mouths were gaping uncomfortably at my forehead, and it's like,
yeah.
These are wrestlers. They've seen blade jobs before, but his blade, his what he did to himself in the mirror is just horrifying. And then he finds Hippo Hailberg, who's got a grease-soaked pizza, and he's eating it, and he pitches his gimmick. By the way, I'm sorry. Hailberg is nibbling cautiously at the pizza, and I was like, again, you have to answer that to yourself.
A chameleon.
Yeah. He said they both say the chameleon back and forth about 4 times. The chameleon, the chameleon, the chameleon, the chameleon.
A chameleon, he asked, nibbling cautiously. A moment later, he cursed sharply and began fanning his tongue. Did he burn his mouth?
Yes, I think that's what it means. But he's already holding it, so how?
Yeah. Where'd you get a hot, steaming hot pizza?
He's already eating it, so I guess he's like, ooh, this is hot, and then he finally goes, he takes a big bite and goes, oh no. This is where I'm like, so what's the next thing? He's gonna have like a big old pie, and he's gonna be like,
right.
His face buried in it. His mouth groped unsuccessfully for words. Hell, kid. So he's like, whatever. He goes back to the locker room. He's talking to Stafford, or what was it? Not Stafford.
Witherspoon, $1 billion Baby.
No. Somebody said Spots. Yeah, I got a spot. Stafford. He's yelling at Stafford. Spots. I yelled, yeah, I got a spot. I knocked your ass out of this fucking sport. Needle dick. He shoots it back. And then he puts in my Canadian accent on the out. It's thicker than Stafford's. So they go to the ring. He does drop is Stafford going to Pearl Harbor me? And so he walks backwards. He walks backwards to the ring to be like, oh, and he sees Stafford peeking in the behind the apron, looking at him.
Yeah, right. He says, "I saw through the slits in my hockey mask." What does he have? A Jason mask, like an
Yep,
old school goalie mask.
Yeah,
Okay.
he's wearing a hockey mask. He's got everything. He's got the stick, the jersey, and the mask. And he's walking backwards. So they get in there, and then he starts beating him with the hockey stick. And you know, he's like, the people are like, are they loving it? He like goes above and beyond. He breaks both the guy's knees with a drop kick, like a shoot drop kick.
Yeah, that's wacky.
Which is like, that's wild.
Into his knee, a drop kick into his knee.
Yeah. His knees explode.
Eric Watts style drop kick.
The people, they roared their approval at the Chameleon, who had given someone a permanent injury in their very first match. I stared at their faces. Blah blah blah. It's like he always, whenever he's around crowds, he starts having like a out of body, like whoa. So then they stretch your Stafford back. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, no, that's it. The agony in his moans excited me, drew me closer.
That's right. And so now he's like hovering over the stretcher. I knocked you out of the game, you needle dick fuck. So the paramedics were probably like, Jesus, what the fuck is this fate? The hell? Kayfabe. Then he's in the locker room and he goes, I am the Chameleon. He shouts it.
Well, before that, though, Rob Robertson grabs him with feverish eyes and pulls him backwards, pressing his body into him. Jesus. Yes,
because he's trying to break him up. And that's when he shouts, I am the... Imagine the people watching this. And then he cuts a promo in the locker room. He goes, whatever you give me out there is what you'll get in return. When you face the Chameleon, you face what you fear within yourself.
Where's the Dynamite Kid when you need him to fucking...
I'd be like, shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
We're gonna fuck with this kid. So he yells all that. I turned and vaulted into the hallway. Sonny Logan was coming out of his dressing room. Hulk Hogan was coming out of his dressing room, and he's like, "Hey, how's it going, brother?" He's like, "Yeah, pretty good."
Yeah.
And that's it.
Yep.
Vince tells him that he likes the gimmick, and they're taking pictures for publicity.
Yep.
And they keep telling him, "Look like a human. Look like a normal person."
Yeah.
And he's like, "I'm trying," but he's like, just doing this blank stare at the guy. And he's like,
I kind of picture him as the renegade.
Mm-hmm. He's definitely not the warrior. Because I think they bring up the warrior up. Warrior's the guy that they make dress in drag, correct?
That might be, yes.
That's what I thought. Okay.
So, yeah, he's meeting with Vince. First of all, Vince is talking about family entertainment again.
Yep.
And he says the doctors have ruled Stafford out for 6 months. He's collecting on that Lloyd's of London policy.
Mm-hmm. Which then I was like, he insured his knees? Or his legs? Like, I didn't know that was part of his hockey gimmick.
I think Lloyd's does the whole body, no?
Well, yeah, but I was just like, he's like, man, my hockey gimmick, I need my knees, man. Everybody needs their knees.
Yeah. And then he explains what Lloyd's of London is. Who gives a shit?
Yeah.
Then Rockert pulls a yellow envelope out because he's in the mafia, and he gives him 10 grand in hundreds.
He says, "Here, I told you to shoot on the guy and break him, so here's the money." And then he says to himself, "Yeah,
he saved the company $100,000." So that's his case.
I know this is very. He's like this concerned. I did what I had to do, and I will continue to do so.
I mean, listen. Well, okay. I was gonna say if fucking Rand Stafford has this ironclad contract, it doesn't pay him when he's hurt.
No, I was like, and then he's opting. Maybe he's opting for the insurance claim.
That's what I was thinking. Okay.
I myself was like, I don't know how this is saving anybody money. I don't understand. Like, he got hurt on the job. Like, so now he's a rich man now. Chapter 9.
Yeah.
Which again, he's not though. He just got a one-time bonus. He's still making was it 100,000 or
something like that. I don't remember.
Oh, I got it here. It was a 2-year contract for 70,000 for the first year. He's in the first year.
Really? Okay.
And 90,000 the next, and then a third year that's an option for 150. So he's only making 70,000, and now he's gotten that one bonus.
Well, when we get into a few pages, I'll take issue.
Yes,
with that.
I was like, I myself was like, wait, what's happening? No, don't do that.
Okay, so we're flash forward again, and a fan gives him a hotel room key, and he says, items that people pass you at ringside are kind of particular to a city. And in LA and New York, they give you vials of Coke. I want to see that happen one time. Where a wrestler gets a bump of Coke on the way down to the ring.
Then he goes, I don't do that. I wouldn't trust that. And it's like, if that was really happening, that's going up whoever's nose. I feel like if you had passed Shawn Michaels pills in like 90 whatever year it was, he would have been like, thanks. And just, so he goes back then. Oh, by the way, he loses track. His song is played over and over so many times, he's lost track. He has no idea. It's been like 20 minutes out there where he's just like wandering around trying to get to the ring.
Yeah, is he trying to get to the ring, or is he still in the fucking mini ring?
I don't know. He's throwing it. If you're watching this, you've been watching 3 minutes, and then it's like another 3 minutes. He's in the middle of the ring, and then he's like, okay, he gets out. Now he's running to the security guard. He's whipping off his hat. He's like kissing people. He's grabbing things. Like, get in the fucking ring. He goes back. He's talking to
not much.
He's drawing people. So now he's the chameleon. He's feuding with people, and whoever he feuds with, he's like insisting on drawing.
Yes, and he gets their bag. He interviews them while he draws them.
Yes. And so he's talking to Witherspoon, right? That's his first one?
I think it is. Where's it at here? Page before.
Wisconsin, because he keeps drawing, and I kept thinking,
yes,
he wouldn't
Witherspoon.
be drawing. He says he's from Wisconsin, but he keeps talking like he's from the South.
Yeah. No, you'd think Ben would know that. I mean, he's from Chicago.
Odd. Yeah. It's like he keeps like he's drawing. He's talking about just the way he taught it was like, this is not somebody from Wisconsin. But he asked him, "Did you watch wrestling growing up?" And my understanding is that Witherspoon's older than him by a bit.
No, doesn't he say he's like 23?
That's what I don't understand. Maybe I missed it when he did, because the guy goes, "Oh no, I was watching." I looked all this up, and I'm like, that's bad on my part, but. Because he was like, I watched Knots Landing in Dallas instead of wrestling, and I was like, when did those shows start? Wait a minute, what year are we? That's why I missed it. I was like, what year is this?
That so it's in the early 90s. I remember Knots Landing. And...
Look, they did start, and like,
but again, if Ricky's but you're forgetting Ricky's young too. So we're only going back.
I guess I got confused because his dad was. I think probably what tricked me up was that BJ's dad was so into him.
Yeah.
So then I was like, oh, it must be an old wrestler.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was looking up and it was like, oh, that started in 78 or 84. I'm like, okay, all right.
Yeah.
He got the cherubic contour of his cheeks while he's drawing. But yes, basically the Ted DiBiase character is growing up on a farm. He did say, in Wisconsin, and he was rationing toilet paper. And I was like, okay. I mean, my family, I come from farmers, Larry, and I know they didn't have the greatest life in the world, but I never heard, and we rationed toilet paper. That's like Depression era, like. Yeah, first of all, if you can afford toilet paper, just buy as much as you need. Don't ration that. I didn't know what you would ration. Washing your clothes, I don't know. Yes. But because at that point, just forget the toilet paper and just use rags or something. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, I don't even.
Soap or shampoo. What?
Is that what he said?
Yeah, basically, he's like, my dad's kind of a shit farmer.
Okay, I mean, as soon as Witherspoon starts talking about how he was an insurance salesman and that's how he got into wrestling because he sold Vince insurance, or no, some other guy, another booker. Sorry.
Yeah.
I tuned out the rest of this fucking backstory. I don't care about Ricky Witherspoon.
There's the stuff where he's writing where I'm like, where is he getting this? Is this him going off on like, this is my take? And it's just like, that's where he like always loses me. It's like that too when he's making up like, this is what I think it'd be like to be in a ring in the WWE. Yeah, it's like, you don't really, you're guessing here. You're pulling this. Let's see. They're in his, where are they? They're in a park?
They're at the
They're
Hilton.
at a zoo. Oh, they're in the hotel and the kid sees them?
Yeah.
Oh, they're at a pool. Yeah, they're at the pool hotel. And, which boy, Rob Robertson better not see him drawing Ricky Witherspoon at the pool.
Yeah.
Laying out. The kid sees a kid sees Ted DiBiase, and he's like, "If you jump in this pool, I'll give you $100." And the kid does it, and the mom's
Yeah. Okay.
So he's in his hotel room.
He tries to call
BJ.
Yeah.
And then he lies, because this guy just lies. His knee jerk is just to say shit. So he's like, I told him all about BJ and his dad. And he was like, yeah, I remember it, and it's great, and I love him.
Yeah.
Which later he brings back up, and he's like, yeah, I haven't even called them. Like, it's been a year now. I just, fuck it, and I lied. I felt bad. So he
but hang on. After he hangs up the phone, he walks over to the thin-backed chair.
Yeah.
The wallpaper screamed out in a diagonal pattern of snarled lines.
When you're right, yes. God,
they're static breakups. Yeah, I mean, come on.
He's losing it. This guy's always in a. If you walked up to him, you'd see him just staring at a wall, man, like, what's happening? It's like, are you just high? What's happening to you?
Yes. That wallpaper is screaming at me.
Yes. Okay. Why? I don't know. I just lied to my friend. Help. Let's see here.
So he's wrestling Witherspoon, and he's tossing money out to the fans.
And I did highlight this because it's one of those things again where it's like you're the author. You should know this stuff. He suffered some fan got trampled. And he said he suffered 3 cracked ribs and a puncture wound in his right thigh, apparently caused by a stiletto heel. And it's like, did you read it in the newspaper? Did you witness it? Why is it apparently? I mean, did you see it or not? Like, you tell me. Don't leave me hanging, buddy.
Yeah. So he calls mom.
He calls his mom. He's wrestling in Chicago.
Yeah.
He's wrestling in Chicago. He's like, oh, my mom's going to finally see me. And he calls her up to invite her to the show. And yeah, she's like, I'm seeing someone, and no, I can't go.
Yeah.
And they kind of are like, okay, that's fine, I guess. He keeps asking about his friends, and like, there's no information about his friends, and it's like, why do you keep bringing them up? This keeps happening where he's like, I gotta get hold of my friends. One of them is gonna die, I promise you. The one that was the weird one.
Okay, I have thoughts about the friends.
I think one of the friends he's gonna call him like he died. You know, and it's like, oh, what if I got a hold of him? And I hope it's not prophetic. I hope it's not. I hope it's not prophetic.
Doesn't drown in a pool.
Yeah. I hope.
No, I have 2 thoughts about the friends. Either he didn't put enough about them in the beginning of the book, because they didn't seem like such great friends that they'd keep reconnecting.
No, yeah, the 2 run off, and he's.
Yeah, or 2, and this is something that happens in life, where you like realize all that connects you is your past. Yeah. You got to come to that slow realization that every time you meet up with that old friend, you're just talking about remember when.
Yeah, you're circling around and being like,
but I don't think Ben Peller's that deep that he would explore a topic like that. So
no, I think he is writing kind of like a Tony Khan books, where he's like he has like a lot of stuff in his head. And then he's like, well, then of course, like he doesn't think, oh, they're not in my head. So in his mind, he's like, I had 2 friends like that, and yeah, it was deep, and he kind of just running through little bits and pieces, but then you're like, didn't come across.
Right. we don't need the story about how this guy met his mother. And then the night that he's wrestling in Chicago is also the night of his lodge's annual Starlight Dancing dinner. Who cares?
I was like, what is that? I didn't care, but I was like, what's happening?
You're in the lodge. You should know. You don't have a Starlight dinner in the Moose Lodge that you're in?
Yeah.
Okay.
It sounded
Are you not allowed to talk about that?
What I thought about was like, I hope it's not one of those like weird father-daughter gimmick, like when you have that with people that are in those groups, like church groups, are like, we're gonna dance with our daughters, and they have like awards and look that up. That's creepy. These church organizations.
I don't know about that.
They have father-daughter. Just type in father-daughter dances, church maybe. I don't know. It probably. There's a redheaded desk clerk at some point that has a dizzying amount of freckles.
Yeah.
Which again is one of those things where I'm picturing him looking at her and just. Oh shit! What?
Yeah.
Her expression grew officious. Put the thesaurus down, Ben. It's okay.
Yeah.
So he's living in a fashionable New York apartment.
You're just gonna skip right over being in Cleveland, huh? Okay. No, I was hoping there'd be a reference, but there's not.
Yeah, he's just in there. We landed in Cleveland. I tried to locate Brian or Marty.
I know there was nothing. I was just kidding. But, what was the next part you were talking about?
He's in his fashionable New York apartment.
Okay. Before that, though, he tells this backstory about. What is he trying to do? Look up the girl he went to prom with, and then he acts like her husband because the wife is like, the
That's
mom
right,
was
he does.
like,
he calls. He goes, "Is Charlotte home?" She goes, "Charles?" He's like, "Yeah, yeah." And then she's like, "Yeah, blah blah blah," and then he just hangs up. He's like, "Oh shit." Why does he do that?
He pops a Valium and then he calls Ricky Witherspoon because now he's all fucked up emotionally. And they meet in the bar. And the Valium pummeled the outside world into a dim blur. Okay.
Nice. Does that speak of experience, or is he just like, yeah?
I've never had my world pummeled.
You were never like watching things kind of, you're starting to pass out and you're like, the world's being pummeled by blah, 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 blah.
Maybe, but I never thought about that.
when you came to again, you weren't like, did I say the world was the world pummeling me? But I was passing out. He's in his fashionable.
Let's talk about this.
People, a throng of tiny bright dots lay packed together outside his window, like interconnected vessels marooned in an expansive vein of darkness. And stop.
I don't think I've ever heard of a single wrestler living in New York City.
That I did that too. I was like, why is he living there? That's not a hub.
I'm not talking about Tommy Dreamer in Queens. I'm talking about Manhattan.
Like I'm working. I'm gonna fly out of New York every time. And I'm gonna go to my fashionable apartment. Maybe. I think that's what Ben Peller. If you were to ask him, like, what's classy, he'd be like, a fashionable New York apartment. He's Carrie Bradshaw.
I was gonna make a joke, and I didn't want to get canceled.
I've seen every episode, every movie.
Oh no, not about Sex and the City, just about New York and Ben Peller.
Oh, what happened to New York?
I'm just saying he's a Jewish man.
Oh, okay. Is he? Is Ben Peller Jewish?
Yeah, that's a very Jewish name. Yeah,
I don't even think about people and their last names. That would never cross my mind. I'm a good boy.
You're not me. Okay, so he talks about George Zahorian, whose name is Dr. Randall Tingle, and they call him Saint Nick.
Oh, okay. I have a little problem though. He talks about their schedule. And he's like, we would wrestle 12 to 30 nights in a row. And I was like, that's a gap. 12, 30. So you're basically either working less than 2 weeks or the whole month. Like, and then he's like, or we have something like 4 days off, and it's like, again, you tell me, is it 4 days off? Is it 3?
Beastie told me I'm sorry, go ahead.
He's like, yeah, he works out, but they don't matter because the steroids are doing a little work. And I was like, Ben, that's not how steroids. You should know. You look like you took some steroids. You need to still work out. You can't just take steroids and be like, oh wow, what the hell?
Tom Zhang said he could take steroids and not work out and he'd get big. So there is precedent.
That feels like something that he would say, where he's like, I'm just natural. I'm almost like, why would I even need steroids?
There's nothing more annoying than people talking about bodybuilding, but he's got the genetics, is what I wanted to say.
Yeah.
Right, that's the
Z-Man. But yes, Dr. Randall Tingle. They call Old St. Nick, which is, again, yeah, this probably, you and I both highlighted this.
Yeah.
He looks like St. Nick, but also he gave us steroids and painkillers. It was one of those things where it's like...
We got it.
Well, it's just like, he came up with the name, and he's like, I guess this guy looks like Santa now. I can't go, like... If I just said, oh, it's because he gave us gifts, people... Like, he had to go the extra thing, and he looks like Santa.
Right. And then he runs into... Yeah, he runs into Sonny Hogan, and he's doing some blow. And I love this.
To fruition.
Where the fuck is the... Yeah, okay, this is great. So, Sonny's got his little bullet of coke, and he hands it to him. And I tilted the bullet and snorted deeply. Cocaine flew up into my nose, savagely tunneling into my mucous membranes.
Yes.
I winced and coughed, and Logan began laughing. Take it easy, brother. Let it glide in by itself.
Yep. You got it. I also had all that highlighted, which was like, savagely tunneling, let it glide in by yourself. And then they're like, he's patting him on the back, and he's like, you did that when I was a kid, like in his mind. Now I'm doing cocaine with you.
Okay. Why do we have this, like, why is it an aside like this? This next, like, little 2 paragraphs.
What's funny about this thing where he's like thinking about it, because he says, I'm thinking about that, of him doing that to me when I was a kid. And then he's like, but I couldn't recall that memory that I'm actually telling you about because I was so wired.
Right.
Like, okay, right. And then the dream's looking at him, or he's looking at him, and he's just like nodding with his face frozen in his mind.
Yeah. But right, so this next section, he says Anytown USA, like it's a non-specific, like, description of any day, but it's his referencing life. Something very specific, though.
Oh yeah, but this disturbs me. It was happening so much. It was happening every town. Dastardly Darren Domino.
The shit rape, yeah. Okay.
Which, he doesn't give any details on that guy.
Duke
so
the Dumpster
who's
Josie.
That? You think it's him?
Yeah, he was known for GHB and chicks. Yeah. And he's got the double. He's the triple D. So is this guy.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
I was thinking, man, he doesn't give any, like usually he's like, this guy did this, and then you're like, you have like little clues. Okay.
I think Josie got fired for it, which, like, to get fired for it, you really got to be offending.
Oh my goodness.
And this
he's H-bombing women. This guy, Domino. It all clicked in for him. Like,
and then he has sex with her, and then he shits on her and puts her out in the hallway.
Yeah. Yes, it's horrible. And then he bragged that he'd done it to at least 100 women throughout the United States. This drove me nuts. I didn't know why he did this, and probably neither did he. Well, we're letting him off the hook there, bud. Yeah. There was no time for self-reflection. Poor guy. He probably would stop if he only had time to self-reflect.
It's just the crazy business.
Not with our schedules and our personal appearances and photos.
We could have 1 day off or 18 days off.
Yeah. I was like, it feels like there is time. Those 4 days you're talking about? Something like 4 days? Be like, oh, that's really fucked up. He shouldn't do that. He was 16th straight on the fucking road, and I was supposed to give a shit about some drunk girl? Okay, well, she's drunk. What do I want? It's like, well, she's not drunk. She's drunk,
Right.
and he's assaulting her and then pooping on her. That's you're really taking the smallest part of that and focusing on it. Well, she's passed out. What do you want? He thinks he's just counting T-shirts now and being like, how much money am I making on merch?
Well, and that's why he can't think of the drunk girl. It's because he's thinking about his merch money.
Well, he better be. He's in a fashionable New York apartment at $70,000 a year. I know I'm trying to apply like now. Maybe 93, that was like a crazy amount, but I feel like, again, like you said, why are you living in one of the most expensive cities in the world in your first year?
Yeah.
Nobody I've read has ever done that. It's like Mick Foley's like, I was pretty well into my career and I was still staying with guys at hotel rooms, and
right.
I feel like he's like, what are we? We're working in Las Vegas. One suite for the Bellagio, please.
Okay, so here's the story about the lone warrior, Mickey Jeter. So
yes.
Right, because this is funny, because this is a real story, right? You know about when Vince took the finishers in a bar.
And he would take like the Legion of Doom or whatever.
Yeah.
And he liked that. Bret Hart talked about, I think one time he knocked him on his ass.
Yeah.
Kurt Angle's talked about him trying to shoot on guys and all that shit. Well, in this one, the Lone Warrior press slammed him. And the Vince character responded by turning him into gold dust.
Yeah, basically.
Which is like, what? This is again, I was like, Ben Peller, were you watching that feud and you were like, what if Warrior was in mind racing? Vivian Vital, the drag queen Gimmick. So now he's painting instead of painting the Warrior paint, he's painting makeup on his face. So and the Lone Warrior's talking to him about this.
He's cool with it.
Our hero I would nod as if I knew what he was saying. Again, he's going into a train. Like, he's not saying anything. He's really just saying, yeah, it's fine. It's just makeup to me. And he's like, And he goes 26 straight days on the road. Nothing seems real.
Yeah.
And then I feel like Ben Peller, as he kept writing, because I know this didn't go through many drafts, but he was like, I should really come back around on this poop thing. I should be hard, because he goes, my disgust. I was like, you just said you weren't disgusted. You said you didn't care.
I got a problem with the payoff to that too when we get there.
It's not him.
Yeah.
Was nothing more than a remote ache that would soon be replaced by the excited heat going to the ring. Again, he's in there. He's like, I'm not even real.
But that's why he's not touching himself anymore.
Mm-hmm. What is he doing? He's clinging to his skewed reflection, who experienced days like notes in a chaotic opera that he had written but now failed to understand. What?
I don't get that one.
His reflection, he's looking at his reflection, who's experienced days like notes in a chaotic opera. Fucking hell, it makes me tired.
Probably one of the Wagner operas. They're pretty chaotic. I don't know. He has lunch with Ricky Witherspoon again, eating at the fucking like swankiest restaurant in DC and not a Waffle House. He should be.
And he's managed to buy a Mercedes
to drive around Manhattan with.
And then he puts in at least an expensive penthouse, and it's like, you already have an apartment, bro. So then I was like, did he just forget when he's writing this? He forgot that he had added that, and then he was like,
well, you don't think that is the apartment, and he's doing that thing where he chooses it once and then explains it later?
When I initially read it, I was like, he's got two places now? Oh, no. And a Mercedes? But then I was like, no, he's kind of a bad writer. He probably is talking about the same thing. Yeah. The guy's like, hey, we need to go to this restaurant. And he's like, no, I don't care. And the pitch is but the president eats there in D.C. And he's like, okay. And then the guy goes, we'll be eating the same silverware as the president of the United States.
Yeah, that's
and it's
weird.
like, oh, that's a weird pitch. Okay. And then he goes along and he drinks an $80 bottle of champagne, which I'm like, how swanky is this place? $80? Doesn't seem that swanky for a place that the president eats at.
Sure.
He tossed to Shawna.
This is so stupid. I mean,
A lot of the Shawna stuff
from
is.
one talk with her, he gets out of the penthouse, sells his Mercedes for a used Honda, and goes to the Salvation Army to pick up a rocking chair.
Yeah.
So that quickly, he's gotten rid of the penthouse and the Mercedes.
He does. Yes. One conversation, he's like, what am I doing with myself? This isn't me. But even then, when he's in this every place he goes in, he's like, I don't feel comfortable. He does hit that home. Everywhere he goes, he doesn't feel comfortable. But he kind of feels comfortable, I guess, with the, what does he call it? Mismatched secondhand furniture. I feel like this is Ben Peller being like, this is the kind of place I'd stay at.
Yeah. Williamsburg.
10. Yes.
Maybe Red Hook.
I feel like he's like, and so he's in Los Angeles. It's early 2000s. I'm trying to picture what he's like into. He's going to bars. He's trying to sell his book. What is he dressing in? I feel like he's probably dressing in thrift clothes. I don't know. I'm trying to get my mind around this guy sometimes. It's just like, oof. Yeah. 10, wrestling death.
The air is rich and taut.
Oh yeah, you better believe it. You probably could cut it with a knife. Smelling vaguely of sweat. There's a ring boy who's like there to gather up gear and all that, and he won a contest. He has all this. He won a contest, and then you get this is a Pellerism. He's lanky with slight bird-like features. He's like, I'm picturing it. His short black hair is combed straight, moosed so that it will not fall over. A gold earring in his left ear. He looks down bashfully, taking my jacket. Then he snaps his head back up and glares with eyes burning a metallic blue. You're gonna lose, man. He says with a practiced steadiness. And he's like, oh shit, what the fuck? And then he just kind of like, the kid like goes away and he's like, did that kid write an essay just to say that to me or other people or what the hell's going on?
At first, I thought the kid was passing the message.
Oh.
And that's what was going on. Because, again, we don't know who's going to win this match. But, yeah.
Maybe he is. Maybe it's going to be a swerve at the end. He's like, oh, it's not a creepy kid. He's just trying to tell me.
Okay. This stuff about meeting the Soul Taker's kids.
Here we go. This is a classic. You know, when Beyond the Mat came out in the late night, so Ben Peller saw Beyond the Mat. He fucking loved that fucking movie. He should have been in that fucking movie.
Yeah.
He loved that movie because he loves the. Maybe he saw it and he was like, I gotta write down
the wackiness of having a second life.
Yes, he loved when he saw that Vader talking about real estate. He was like, oh, this is what, yes. Did you highlight how he describes Taker's wife?
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Her athletic body was dominated by a set of remarkable breasts, which Trevor had told me she had done about 8 months ago. Shortly after their third daughter, Helena, had been born. It's like detail on detail. It's like we're starting off with breasts. Now it's about the daughter. Now here's her name. So nice sketching on her. And they talk about like Halloween and it's the Undertaker. He's like, yeah, he took everything from the monsters and Trevor's two oldest daughters were named Dawn and Electra. And at this point I was like, where's he getting these names? And I feel like there may be some people he knows and he's just putting them in. They're just seeing like Electra. Why? Like what? who Trevor and Meredith named their daughter Electra. It just, like, what? Where does that come from?
Yeah.
So they're having what Fan Peller imagines as a family dinner, where one person's like giggling and it's this, and Trevor's looking on with his family. He's like, yes, I have a great family. He tells them that he's like, you have a great family. Oh yes. Well, let's go to a little place down the way.
Trevor Gladstone, by the way.
Yes. And that little place is an upper crust strip club, and the dancers there are just, because the patronage are wealthy, the strippers are insane looking, and Trevor spends the next couple hours just surrounded by them.
Right, because they're in Connecticut, right? I forgot where this was.
Yes. Again, which I was like, why is the Undertaker living in Connecticut?
At least that makes a little more sense. I mean, office.
A little bit. Yeah. Does he work in the office? Is he trying to get down to headquarters, to the castle, the Crystal Ship?
In my mind, when you like put a picture to something you're reading, I see Soul Taker and I'm thinking Charles Wright. So he's a black guy in my mind.
I know. That crossed my mind when he's like, I love going to strip clubs. It's like, wait, hold on. Is this Papa Shango? Am I wrong?
His name was the Soul Taker.
Charles Wright, Trevor Gladstone, Mark Calloway. Sometimes he tries to just go like a little bit like me.
Yeah. Oh, there's a good one coming up like that. Robbie Redondo.
Robbie Redondo.
So he's feuding with the Undertaker.
He finds out that the Undertaker has like a slight death wish. He's obsessed with artists that die young. He's screening around back home in his car, and he's like, oh no. But they keep feuding, yeah. And he's drawing, or what is he? They're out. Are they drinking? What are they doing?
Well,
here
he's talking about his day-to-day. He's talking about his day-to-day life, and he would get something about wanting to go to the library, but instead he would just drink every day. And then he goes to Dr. Tingle because he has a pain in his side, and Dr. Tingle says it's all in your mind, and he gives him some Prozac, and he throws it away. That's what happened.
Oh, and okay, yes. But also the Trevor Soul Taker Undertaker says that he feels like everyone's doomed when they die, or he's doomed.
Yeah.
And then they're giggling. They're like always high or drunk or something, and they're always like giggling behind their mask when they're wrestling. He tries to he gives him Prozac.
He has another dream about his father, and then he wakes up. His father was like blowing up.
Yes. And I was like, there needs to be more of the father. A lot of him is based on like, I didn't have a dad, and they treat him like he left the family like he's established, but he clearly got really sick.
Yeah.
So then he calls Shawna.
They talk about what happens when you die, blah blah blah.
She sees a star, or her brother told her that we turn into stars.
Yeah, it's very.
He's hanging out at strip clubs a lot. He does the like age-old strippers are like wrestlers, or basically artists are like whores.
Yeah, that stupid chapter.
Her silicone-enhanced breast goes against my steroid-enhanced arm. Got it. Okay. He nailed it right there.
Hey, he was before the wrestler by 7 years.
I'm telling you, if I found this book, if I was a certain age at a certain moment, and I found this book, I'd be like, this guy's fucking knows what's up, dude. He gets it. Does Scott Keith own this book, and does he like it? That's what I want to know.
That's a good question.
He meets up. It gets wild.
Yeah, why is Trevor even telling this story about getting caught with two women, or one woman, and then the wife came in?
I'm going to read a passage of it.
Please.
If my wife is listening, she's gonna vomit. And this is one of those times where I went, oh my god. So they're drinking purplish concoctions at the pool or the bar or something like that, and he's talking about,
Oh, well, no, Trevor does pick up 2 strippers and bang them.
Yes.
Or no. He is telling the
They're
story.
in San Diego.
Okay, sorry.
Okay. First, time out. So they're at Leg Girls. Girls. That's the name. And something about that in San Diego, and I was like, that place is real. I know it's. I just had something in me, and I looked it up. It's real.
Yeah.
And now it's just like, well, now I know. It all came together once I went to the website. So now, it was a San Diego like nudie bar, and they were always getting harassed by the police. It's been there forever, since like the 50s, and they had a lot of law trouble. And they were like one of those places that just grew in lore from San Diego for just being like constantly being raided and this and that. And then at some point, it turned into like not avant-garde, but like we're putting burlesque. We're doing little plays, and people are writing plays, and people are like, it's a little community theater, but burlesque. And I went, Ben Peller either participated in this, in one of these plays, or wrote something, or he's giving this place a shout out as one of the best strip clubs in San Diego.
Sure.
I just thought, I was like, oh yeah, no, this is him being like, check this place out, and it's still going, and you can buy tickets to their Heaven or Hell show.
You know what I'm looking for?
Censored Heart.
Since you said that, Barnaby's is a place in Joliet. He mentions that at one point, and I kept meaning to look it up.
Yeah, he's got some places that he's at least haunted.
Yeah.
I feel like looking at the pictures. Okay, go. Yeah, okay.
No. Yeah. Okay, so he is telling this. He is telling this in real time, right? He goes to the strip club with Trevor, and he's got 2 strippers, and the wife comes in. And he's telling him the story. I didn't know. He says, I didn't know whether to shit or go blind.
Yeah.
Just because that's one of those Steve Austin sayings. I didn't know whether to shit or wind my watch.
Okay, no. He's describing what's going on. He's thrusting his little like accoutrement in the drink, a little showgirl figurine. He's shuffling around.
Oh.
Quote.
God.
I remember.
Thank you. Go ahead.
I remember tasting that dried up pussy juice around my lips and thinking, well, shit, isn't this some way to finally go? After all the morbid thoughts about dying, I'm gonna go with dried up pussy juice in my mouth. And it's like, what the fuck is happening right now? What is going on? Did he hear this from someone? Why? Like, so many questions entered my head, and I was like, why did you have to write that out?
Yep.
But then, it's all backed up a paragraph later when Trevor, the Soul Taker, takes a big long swallow of his drink and doesn't bother to lick the purple foam that remained on his top lip. I was like, well, that's why all that's happening in the paragraph prior. He doesn't wipe his mouth.
Sure.
He just leaves shit on there. Disgusting.
The wife was cheating on him, so they just forgot about it.
Yeah. There's something about like his grandson. He gives then there's like this painful like, let me tell you a story about a guy that had a sword and he gave it to his grandson, and it's like, what the fuck is he talking about? It's supposed to be philosophical. It's supposed to be deep. Like, look at these guys, they're carnies, but man, they have these deep thoughts. And I'm sure when Ben Peller was high or drunk and he was like, man, it's like when Chris Jericho talks about how like we're philosophers, we're gypsies, and it's like, shut the fuck up.
So he's gonna wrestle Soul Taker at Fall Mall. In a coffin match.
Pretty sure I named an event that in my eFed on AOL back in the day. I'm sure everyone had the same round of names.
Sure.
Shocktober, maybe? Shocktober might have been one.
WrestleFest was always my big one.
Oh yeah, that's it. He
So
talks to Hilbert.
Yeah, you got Twinkies again.
And caked with it. His hand's caked with Twinkie crumbs. Disgusting.
So I just imagine he's holding the Twinkie with his actual palm of his hand. Not just with your fingers, like a
he's just
normal
like
person.
Jesus Christ.
We know he holds it
got
with a wand.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's the pay-per-view, and this is very bizarre. Why Ben thought this was a thing. For this event, okay, so he's talking about Jesse Ventura and Vince, Robbie Redondo.
Yes.
And he says for this event, their comments were being broadcast not only for the audience, but for the live arena as well. Why would the commentary be over the loudspeaker?
He's probably thinking, why isn't it like that? And he's like, because he brings up, he's like, the WWO at one point later, he's like, steel cages, chain link fences, but the WWO has one with a roof and a trap door, and it's like, okay,
right, yeah.
He has these little ideas where I think he's like kind of he's fantasy booking.
Yeah.
But yeah, Robbie Redondo has a lengthy red and blue toupee, which is like, that's what?
I don't know why he called
it Gimmick here. Yeah, it's not a toupee, it's a wig, if anything.
Right.
For like on TV. It's not like he goes home and he's like putting his red and blue toupee down. A toupee. He does it every now and then. We'll have like a little word where it's like, that's not the word you should be using. Where's the editor?
Yeah. So he beats Soul Taker, and then he takes off his mask, and he looks like Chuck Beasty, the Macho Man.
And he brings that up, and he's like, I took off my mask, and my hair was like Chuck Beasty, and I had a hairstylist work on it. And it's like, at what point were people like, why is his hair all fucking weird? I was like, wait, is he doing this in the thing? He's like, oh no, somebody already did it already. It's just that thing where he's like, let's get on to the next thing. Yeah, my hair. He has these little ideas, and he drops them, and he moves on. It's like, that doesn't make sense, man.
Yeah, because unless he changed his clothes, how is he going to look like Chuck Beasty from taking a mask off?
Yeah, and I guess he's doing it like, yeah, he does the whole reveal. He does the Vince like, you couldn't be it. It's Chuck Beasty. He looks like Chuck Beasty. But then he keeps going like father, like son. And the words ricochet around my skull, and he's mouthing them to himself.
Where was that at?
It's at the final page.
At the end. Oh, okay, yeah. Right.
I found myself mouthing them without conscious thought, which is wild. He's possessed at this point. He's like, there's not even. He's just, my father, like son. It's like, this guy is insane. He's high on coke. He's on Valium. He's drinking. He goes into trances quite frequently. He's mouthing words. He's just always like in some kind of wide-eyed, like. Okay,
I gotta look up a word here. That's all it means? Ectomorph. I didn't know what ectomorph means.
What do you see ectomorph?
It's the very first paragraph of chapter 11.
I just went right by. I just blew by that. I was like,
yeah, because he says
ectomorphic frame.
He's talking about the referee, and yeah, ectomorphic, and I didn't know what that meant.
I probably blew right past it because it was Billy Heron, and I just wrote down Earl. Like me, I wrote down Earl. Once I had Earl in my head, I was like, whatever.
Yeah, it doesn't. I mean, this was like interesting. The first chapter, this flash forward section, but so little happens.
Well, you're a culture person, Larry. You're a man of the arts like myself. Did you like Howling Hunter Thomas and Waco Willie Falk?
Where were those at?
That's in the Earl. He gives the Earl story on him about like what kind of made him famous. 11 years ago, he was reffing a match between Howling Hunter Thomas and Waco Willie Falk.
Okay, sure.
So Hunter S. Thompson versus Willie
that's like the 8th literary reference in this book.
I wrote down, come on.
Plus, didn't he already have a friend who always read Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas?
We get it. You're like, I've read books. I've read a thing or two. But the ref is in this flashback. He brings all this up again unnecessarily. Why do we need to know why this ref is famous? Again, this is that thing I think he's doing where he's like, I heard a story. I might as well put it in. It builds out the book. Like, I heard about this ref that did this.
Right.
The ref though is like, hey man, go stand on the turnbuckles. And I was like, he doesn't know to do that? He's one of his trances? He's sitting in the ring and he's like, yo man, do your job. And then, of course, the people, that vocal energy, you know, they're not penetrating his invisible shield of despair. It's like, Jesus Christ. Again, what has happened to this guy that there's nothing he's really written that you're like, why is he this? What's happening to him? Why is he like this? He's just always been like this. Just when he's a kid, he's like, I'm fucking weird. And he just continues to be weird. Yeah. He's trying to like blame drugs to a certain point, but like you were screaming at people in the high school bathroom and going into like mirror trances.
I forgot about the wrestling promo.
You were on Valium then. And then so Chuck Beasty has Mimi, aka Elizabeth, and he sees this as an opportunity to bring in Shawna.
Yeah. And she's up for it, so she comes on out. But what's
for some reason?
I
just wrote no.
Vince is gonna work $200 a night. He's giving her.
Oh, I think fans weren't noticing him because he's a chameleon, and I was like, in his head, he's that like, ha ha ha, you don't know who it is, and it's like, if you were watching every Saturday or whatever, you'd be like, oh, here comes this guy that like puts the goofy wigs on and like dresses like the other guy. Like nobody, when Damien Sandow was doing that, when he was walking around, nobody's going, nobody's going, I think I've seen that guy on TV, but I don't know. I saw Miz and a guy that looked like Miz. So yes, that's why no.
So Shawna gets off the plane, and she's very hard to miss in a pair of jeans that grip her thighs like cellophane.
Oh
wrap.
yeah. He's
and her neck smells like lilac.
Oh yeah, and this is from here on out. As long as she's with him, he's always up for it. He's ready for it to take a turn.
I missed this sentence the first time. As we head toward the baggage claim, our sides bump together in a gently irresolute tempo. What does that mean?
It wasn't resolute. It wasn't. It was maybe it was just like I don't know what that would be. I'm trying to.
I've never used that as an adjective for a tempo. Is resolute. Okay.
The resolute one would be like very like. So then this one has to be put down the thesaurus pen.
Then okay. I
So they go to the San Diego Zoo. Him and Savage.
Yeah.
That's where he's gonna draw him.
Yes.
And he brings up that he fantasized about going to softball games. That this was his father figure in his mind. And he asks him, "Why do you like the zoo?" And Savage goes, "I like animals."
And then he's just like,
yeah. And then he's like, "I've got pets." Okay. And so then they're looking at chicken, which maybe, I've never seen chickens at a zoo. I've seen them at petting zoos and stuff like that. Peacock. But they go to a chicken cage.
Chickens. That's right. Yes.
Yeah, and I'm like, who is this?
Yeah.
And he's like, "You like chickens?" And then I don't even know if Savage even addresses this. Does he?
No.
He brings up a fact. He goes, "Did you know that they kill their own?" And he's like, "Where'd you hear that?" And he's like, "Discovery Channel." So he was one of the few early on in cable watching the Discovery Channel. Which again, I also looked up. When did that channel start? 85.
Okay.
So he's one of the early 150,000 people that had it. He brings up Randall Montgomery, his dad.
Yeah.
Of course, and then he gets really lazy and goes, he used to be called the WWWO. Yes. Okay.
Yeah. And this is where
They had
right
the
Beastie trained in the pit.
And then he asked him about
How did you meet Mimi?
how did
That's a
you meet
big-
Minnie? And he has this story about
She came out of the
she
clouds.
she came out of the cloud. She found him. He's tied up, I guess, naked, because they were gonna leave him for dead. He said, "Oh, I was, drugged by pure LSD liquid," and somebody was some Samoan kid ate a candy bar.
Why is he Samoan?
I don't know. This is one of those things like, did he hear this? Where it's like he ate a whole candy bar and it had been dipped in LSD liquid. And if somebody said that to me in high school, he ate the whole candy bar and was dipped in LSD, I'd be like, it didn't fucking happen, man. But Chuck says, but this was a shoot. And she saves him. He makes her a good breakfast, which is funny because we find out later he makes up this story. And so for part of that story that he made up is like, she made a hell of a breakfast, is like very sad to me. He gives her the painting. He gives him the drawing, and what he's drawn is like a blank. He says it's like just no face. It's just like hair. He's like, he doesn't even like it. He's like, I don't even think I finished it.
Right. Yeah.
He asks him if he regrets being a wrestler, and the guy's like, no.
Yeah. It's about the
And so Shawna's in.
Yeah, she's gonna be the Miss Liz to
Yes.
Chameleon's Beastie. But then so they have a match, right? Like a house show match. Or does she just meet with them? Yeah, no, the match went well that night. Okay, so then they go out
to have dinner. Yeah.
Yeah. The women put on evening gowns and they're wearing elephant pants and tank tops.
Yes, I know. Because they're going to someplace fancy.
I picture Savage in his tuxedo. He would have the tuxedo version of the outfit.
Yeah, they're like, I'm really disappointed that he didn't say. And then Chucky was wearing these wraparound sunglasses that were wild, and a bandana, this and that, and my tank was shredded just right. So they go to this place. It's very popular. The guy doesn't know if he can let him in. He's like, I don't know about this. And they put him in. And I like that. It's a fancy place. And then Mimi immediately orders 2 Hawaiian chocolates and a mixture of Kahlua and sours, which is gross, for herself. And then I was like, this doesn't sound like a fancy place. But they're like, yeah, we'll make you that swill.
I mean, is this a sitcom scene he's writing here?
It's very...
The host keeps moving them, and they're taking it like a bitch, and then Mimi gets mad about it.
Yes, Mimi's slowly getting upset that their table keeps moving because they're so busy. They keep having to find spots for them, which seems like a bad way to run a busy restaurant where you're just shuffling tables around to make room for more. I don't understand. I was like, what's happening in this place? And they don't, it's clear that Chucky and Mimi are not happy.
Yeah.
And finally, Chuck has enough, and he says, enough! Because she's demasculating him and going, you're not saying anything. She's talking the way.
And she undermines his manhood.
Yeah. Yeah, she calls out,
you can't even be a man in the bedroom.
You can't be a stud. At least be a man. Christ, why can't you ever be a man? I suppose it's too much to expect for you to be a man in a restaurant if you can't even be a man in the bedroom. And then he goes, not enough. So he goes, hey guys, finish your dinner. And he says, just send the chick to my room. And I put a little mark next to that and be like, we're not at the hotel, man. We went out to a restaurant, a fancy one. If I say, hey, this goes to his room, they're going to be like, it doesn't matter.
Right.
You pay up.
Yeah. And then, he's trying to get with... Okay. Emerged from the furnace.
He emerges from the furnace. You're like, what else? And he goes, another drink, I guess.
Yeah, so what a schnurrer. This guy is
Yeah.
racking up the
I guess
tab.
he's paying for it. So, so Shawna is like, let's not be like that.
Yeah. And he kisses her hand, and she draws it back and shuts him down.
It says, you're still a wrestler.
How could I ever forget?
So then...
They have a fun day in San Francisco. Yeah. This is so gay.
Well, you know what it is? It's Ben Peller's like perfect date. Like listening to the Doors' greatest hit.
Yeah, so they go they go bar hopping and they play a Doors song at every bar. Mm-hmm. Cool.
Yeah, I rolled my eyes and I was like, I can picture this guy. What we've seen and what we've heard is like, oh yeah, he's done this, or he wants to do it if he never did. So then they
get back to the hotel, and they find one of Duke the Dumpster Drosy's victims.
Yes, they find a woman covered in poo-poo, passed out in the hallway, and Shawna's very upset, and she's like, "Fucking bastard, drug her up, shit on her, then toss her out like a goddamn room service tray." And then the guy, he immediately. This might be a defense mechanism. He goes into one of his trances. He's just like, I wondered blankly at this. What? Huh? It's just him, and in every interaction, he just immediately goes into, huh?
Yeah.
Then I focused on the two large turds clinging onto her back. And again, it's like the dried up pussy juice thing. Like, why are you doing this to me? Why are you writing about this?
And why are they clinging to her back?
Yeah, my vision was so blurred that they at first glance appeared to be grotesquely oversized moles. Stop, you're being so gross. So she's like, we gotta get her up. And he starts like slapping this girl lightly. He says lightly, but he's like, wake up. Wake up. And the woman's like confused. Oh no, she opens the door thinking it's the wrestler. And it's just some guy.
Right.
And he's like, she goes to punch him, and then she stops right before his nose, and the woman's like, Harry? Are you all right out there? Which that guy's looking at a dude knelt over another woman. He's all drugged out, lightly slapping her. She's covered in shit. And this other woman's about to punch him. He must be like, what the fuck?
So Shawna takes her back to her room, and then she comes to see Chameleon and says, can I stay in your room?
Yeah, can I stay in your room? And again, we agree, Ben Peller's not great. He's fine, but he's not great. So I don't think he meant to be like, and this is where we really underline how dumb my main character is. He goes, what could Shawna have gotten out of the past 10 minutes that made her suddenly want to have sex with me? I think he's trying to be cute, but it's just like, you're dumb. You're a dumb person.
Yeah.
Oh, she into shit?
Yeah.
So the next day at the locker room, he sees Shawna come out of.
We're making our second loop in Cleveland here, by the way.
Yeah. They're talking about spots, and he hears a toilet flushing repeatedly and somebody yelping.
These have all been Midwest shows, have they not?
Yeah. Pretty much.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Okay.
It's what an endless loop. Several seconds later, Shawna strolls out of the bathroom with an impassive smile, which we try to get an impassive smile. I don't know. I don't know what that looks like. Okay. She's just blank faced. Let's just assume she's just blank faced, walking out like the Terminator. And what she done was she just gave him a swirly. She gave the Duke the Dumpster the swirly.
Okay. This is so whimsical.
Well, what does our hero do?
It's such a light. He joins in. What does he do?
He joins in the chant.
Yeah, okay.
I started the chant. Swirly.
But this is such a light punishment.
I know.
Right?
Which
we showed him for raping all those women. We gave him a swirly.
Yeah. Oh, we put his head in a toilet. That's like what you do. I like that he kind of gets to addressing it where she's like, she comes into this locker room and be like, so he's just been doing that. He's
Right.
like, well, but then he's like, he doesn't say this, but I started a chant. Like, what? I'm with you on this. Swirly, I like it. But she's mad at him because, yeah, she's like, why did I have to do that?
Yeah.
But he says here,
But
she kind of like gives him the cold shoulder, and so then he's like, well, she's gonna apologize, and he runs through all the scenarios, and she asks him like, she goes, sorry, I was so mean to you. You know, I was mad that you guys hadn't done anything about it, and
no, but why is she apologizing? Because that was valid.
No, it is, but it's because it gives him a chance to go. You know, now that I'm thinking about it, I guess you're right. That was bad. What was happening? You're right. I'm sorry. So he's good. He's having self-reflection that he claimed he never gets.
Right.
It took Shawna though.
Sure. And this is where her breasts touch his chest, and she jerks back.
Yes. The WWO gave his employees Christmas Day off, so he goes to visit his mom.
No, hang it. There's a big paragraph that I don't know what it means. The very last paragraph of that section. I pressed the remainder of tape down across my wrist, taking a few moments to consider the tiny explosions going off below. Of what? The tape? They were unruly and strong. They scared me. What is he talking about?
And this is right after Rob Robertson is looking at him, and they're like, "Oh, Rob Robertson's like, oh, I saw you guys hug. Like,
yeah,
you better not let your wife find out." And he's like, "Oh shit, yeah, I'm married, yeah." This guy's always having like these weird things are like. I mean, it started as a child where he's like smashing a bug into his arm. And he's like, bleed, bleed, bleed. He's scratching at it. Urgh. Yeah, his wrist tape across my wrist. Taking a few moments to consider the tiny explosions going off below. Below what? His wrist? His skin?
I mean, when I hear down below, I usually think groin. But then I thought, yeah, the skin underneath the tape. I don't. But that'd be tearing it off, not putting it on, right?
You might be right. That the tiny explosion, his dick is pulsating.
That's what I kind of thought. That was my first reaction.
I probably just went through and like, this is more of his like, my skin's on fire. I'm so itchy.
Okay. So this is a great section here. Right,
He's
got Christmas off.
To Christmas.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Okay, so you got to remind me. So the next day, Christmas, I called my mom before we were leaving, and we learned that Harry and Shirley were dying to see me. Now, those are the people he yelled at earlier, right? Because they didn't want him to be a wrestler. Is that like an aunt and uncle?
It is. It's the aunt and uncle, I think.
Okay.
On mom's side.
So then Jim is their son.
Yeah, who was like, he had that long thing about like what.
And he was a good boy, right? But he was a good boy when this guy was going to become a wrestler, and they were comparing him to him.
Yes.
Because, Mom spilled the beans. Jim had been apprehended in a sting operation regarding the collapse of a savings loan. This next, 8 sentences where he describes fraud.
Yes.
The percentage of these marked bonds in relation to the total amount that had been issued was comparable to the percentage of bicentennial quarters Jim had managed to disfigure as a child before giving up.
Yeah, it brings back the story. Do you remember that story?
No.
The kid was like, I'm going to collect all these quarters, and then I'm going to, mark them up or something, and then they'll be worth more. And then he realized, the amount of quarters I can collect, the amount that's actually out there, it's pointless what I'm doing. It was some harebrained scheme.
Well, then that is a good reference, but I did not remember
now
that.
It's like, isn't that... It's like
it's ironic.
Yes,
but not ironic. Thank you.
Yes. Yes. It's
What a
that kind of
coincidence.
thing where he's like, look, it's the exact same amount that he had done when we were kids. My God.
Yeah.
Uh,
So right, these 6 people are at Barnaby's Pizza Place in Chicago.
yeah.
Again, we're learning too much about Mom's boyfriend. His hobbies: golf, pinball, and tinkering. What is tinkering?
I feel like that, yeah, with the pinball machines, I would hope. I feel like this is something where it's like, he has that book that he wrote about like how pro wrestling helped me love my mom. I feel like this happened. This is the guy. This is the guy that came into his life at some point. Erling comments that Shawna seems very forward, and it's like, what possibly could she be saying at this dinner? That it's like, ooh, Lord, you're forward. But he agrees. You bet your ass she is. Erling, the mom's boyfriend, is getting transferred to a new plant opening in Nebraska. So they're gonna move to Nebraska.
Yes. No, this is stupid. So Erling's talking about what he does.
Yeah.
Those sinks in the bathroom, my company's working on a chip that will give them an eye so you won't have to turn on a faucet at all. Just stick your hand under and ta-da. Those already existed.
I looked it up.
Me too. Late 80s at least.
Yes, and by an Australian. So he's stolen this poor Australian's life's work to
I mean, I remember those
Erling.
being at rest stops like as early as I can remember.
When I was reading this, I was like, why is he trying to tell us that, like, well, my mom will be okay? Like, wink, that this actually becomes a thing. And it's
I just read it as this guy's like a nervous dude and he just thought of something to say. Because he suddenly reappeared, landing in a seat like an excited bird. Like he thought of something to say in the bathroom and plopped down and said it.
So if he's in that business, that means he's lying. Those already exist, but he's just like, hey, by the way,
he works for Standard America.
I might be inventing that. I don't know. And they don't know. He knows they don't know.
Right.
Some guys already won an award for it 6 years ago. But then this whole scene is about how he's realizing at whatever age he is, my mom is her own human being. She's her own person with thoughts and feelings and experiences. Yeah. And it's blowing his fucking mind. It fucking throws him for a loop.
But it ends uneventful, whatever. Nothing really happens.
We do. I have a bad writing thing where they're talking about the kid gets brought up that's in prison. They're like, he's dead to me. And she's like, the mom goes, he's not dead. He's just in prison. He's still your son. And then we get a parentheses where it's like, why do we need this? What's this happening? He's doing a flash forward. What's in the flashback? It got to me, she would tell me later. I don't like parents that write off their kids. I mean, that could be sent anywhere, but it's said in the future.
Oh, there it is. Okay.
Yeah, no,
yeah,
that's like,
yeah,
that's... yeah, I like that Early does. He brings up the singing. He goes, tell me that won't cut down on germs. I won't. What happens there? Oh, they're talking about like
the turkey.
Yeah, the mom is talking about like she brought him a turkey. The kid thought it was a duck. She went around the block and brought it back, and then they ate it. I laughed along with everyone. This says a lot, I think, about Ben Peller too. I laughed along with everyone. A little chagrined that this possibility never occurred to me. That basically that they had been like, he's dumb, he won't know. And I wondered how many other things in life I had missed. It's like, oh man, is everybody just fucking with me? Oh shit.
Yep.
So you better believe Mom's in the scene, and so she's gonna drop a dawn on his ass. She answers Dusk or Dawn.
Yeah. Okay, he's trying to track down his friends. I don't know. Can't.
Yep, they're out.
He calls BJ again. I just don't care about BJ. But he tells him he lied to him, right? Or not yet.
No, he's just like, it's fine. Everything's good.
Yeah.
He's a father. But anyways, he starts. He spends his 4-day vacation sketching Shawna, and I just automatically assumed it was dude.
Yeah. So they're gonna wrestle at Slam Fest. Him and Chuck Beasty. They're feuding, right?
Yes.
And they're gonna engage in a series of cage matches before Slam Fest.
I'm sorry, I gotta pause because Shawna visits.
Okay.
He's got the nude, or he doesn't say, but he's drawing this huge thing of her.
That's after this.
Oh, it is?
I mean, I'm just recapping. It's just one paragraph where he says what's coming up, and then a day later, right? Shawna's there.
Right. Okay.
Yes.
And what I had caught about this was, so he hugs her. He's like, "Oh shit, she's here!" And fucking drawings up there. And then he hugs her and goes, "Before I even had a chance to remember it was there." No, what? In seconds, he's in like, "Oh shit," and he blanks out, and he's like, "Oh shit." He's like living Memento. He's like, "What the fuck?" And there's another part of the book where he's like, "I don't draw." She even comments on it like, "Oh, you don't draw." And it's like when he first started at WWO, and he's been drawing wrestlers. She says, "Oh, you don't even send me any of this." And he says it. All of a sudden now he's like, "Oh, I sketch outside all the time. I sketch life passing by outside the window." And you better believe that these houses were possessors of secrets, collections of memories, and catalyst of dreams. What the fuck are you talking about?
Oh, jeez.
So he talks about, she asks him, "Where do you want to go?" Like, "I want to hang out. That's why I'm here. Let's hang out."
Yeah.
And he's like, I don't leave my apartment. I just sketch here, thinking about catalyst of dreams, and I don't know. And so they just kind of wander around, and he hears jazz.
As one does.
Yeah,
The streets of Manhattan.
A saxophone broke into life.
Okay.
Come with me. He grabs her hand. Come with me.
Okay, here's the problem.
Yes. Okay.
I guided her into the bar. 2 dark-suited men with fedoras, because it's the 30s, were blowing while people watched and clapped. I wouldn't use that term.
I highlighted it for sure because I was like, "We're blowing," and I'm sure somebody was. Yeah, I'm sure. Okay,
that's
this
like
is my
so
theory.
inside jazz. Like,
this is my theory.
Miles Davis would call it blowing.
Somebody that plays jazz, maybe they were like, "Listen to that guy blowing," or something, and Ben Peller was like, "Clink, locked and loaded, gonna use that someday."
And then, they start dancing, and the band sees that they're dancing, and they play jazzier.
Yes. Which I was thinking, I've been to places that are playing jazz. I've been even with my wife, and it's like I've never been compelled to be like, "This is pretty. Let's dance to this. Let's get up."
No.
Right.
No one's playing that kind of jazz, especially in New York City.
And if I did start dancing, I don't think they'd be like, "Wait a minute, let's rein this in and let's start getting a little good." They applauded with sweaty hands, and I was like, "How hard were they dancing?" So she's like, when did you last dance with a woman like that? And he says, high school prom. And she's like, "Wow, that was a while." She tries to bump his hand. Unfortunately, he's gone into one of his trances. He doesn't do anything. He's just standing there going,
Yes,
"I was too busy remembering the last woman, Charlotte." The last woman who had insisted that I give up the professional wrestling for her.
So you're just
So it's
staring
like
in the distance
he's staring
again.
in the distance, being like, "Yeah, I danced with Charlotte." She also didn't think I should be a wrestler. Um,
I mean, this whole paragraph about buying a hot dog.
no, I know. So it's like, okay, this is something Ben Peller. Yeah, this guy, they happened upon a vendor, and they're like, he's like, hey, I don't sell hot dogs. And he goes, hey, if you want a hot dog, they'll go over to 7th Street. And then he goes, these, and his cheeks pushed up his smile. These are genuine 4th and Broadway chili cheese dogs. So it is a hot dog. It's just got chili cheese on it. Which is then I'm going, well, he's not going to buy this. This is just an aside. You don't go on a date and go, hey, you want to get chili cheese dogs? After you dance at least after you dance at jazz clubs. You don't go, I'd love to polish this night off with a chili cheese dog on the street. But he does. Shawna pays for him.
Yeah.
And I thought, well, here we go. It's gonna be funny, and they just move on. They ate them. It's over. They're not messy. There's nothing.
Yes. But this is where the picture is in her wallet.
Oh, when she pulls out to pay,
and there's a picture in her wallet of a sinewy young man with long blonde hair and skin whose skin tone almost matches Shawna's. So my theory was that's Shawna.
You think it's Shawna. My theory is it's either a brother or a boyfriend that's like a Von Erich level, like he blew his chest out with a shotgun.
And that's why she'll never date him again.
It can't be a brother, so that's why it's like the skin tone's like Shawna, where it's like.
Okay, I guess that makes more sense.
Just say tan, because the brother thing is like, okay, so they look alike, but no, they're blonde. So yeah, I think it's a boyfriend that killed himself because of the game.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, this is our big finale here, the cage match.
If that picture is Shawna, this is an all-time book. This is a wild, wild book. I'm going to get all of his books.
It's going to turn into a Chuck Palahniuk book.
I'll be like, Jesus, this guy just needed to just write more and get better.
But right, Mimi leaves Beastie, so he's all depressed.
Oh, that's right. And he gets mad at him.
Shawna shows up.
11 years.
Oh, is that what he says?
I've been in this business because he's talking about pain or something like that.
Oh, that's right.
Don't talk to me about pain. So he's like, don't work with me all fucked up.
Right.
Yeah.
Shawna buys him some colored pencils.
That also always strikes me as like Ben Peller not knowing like about like art very well. Like everybody's always just buying like markers and like colored pencils, and he's like, yes, thank you. And it's like, what are you getting at? I know people that actually can do, but it's just like you buy like some set from colored pencils, maybe in the right hands, but I don't think this guy's being like, oh yeah, like they're all the same size. If you're into art. You want different sized, gimmicks at the end there to give different widths and all that.
Not just that plastic kit that you get as a kid.
Yeah, they're all the same size, and he's just like, fuck. But he's good. Allegedly, he's good.
But this is very. This is a funny sentence. Whoa! I said these are unable to determine a proper adjective.
Yeah.
I let the ascension of my eyebrows supply one. But for anybody to not be able to come up with a proper adjective, it's Ben Peller.
Yes, I highlighted that specifically because I was like, man, come on. That's not true.
And all he's talking about is a set of colored pencils. Why is that?
Instead of saying something like, I let the surprised look on my face tell the story. The ascension of my eyebrows. That. The ascension of them. Ascension means they're like slowly going up. They're like, whoa, oh shit, colored pencils, dude. So he's talking to her again. She wants. Yeah, draw me like one of your French girls.
Yeah, but she's not naked, right?
No.
No. Okay. I don't know. He's being artistic, describing this drawing. They're talking like how he interviews everybody.
He gets
Nothing
drained
really.
from drawing her, and it's like this swirl of colors. He's just fucking like, and she just takes it and is like, okay, thanks, bye, and she leaves.
I
So
nodded.
He doesn't know what.
Right, he says I nodded mutely. So again, he's doing this thing.
He's drawing, he's talking to her, and he's just assuming he's like, and his brain's still humming. He goes to find Chuck.
Yeah.
I liked this here. He's down in the hotel. He's like in a hotel bar or wherever.
Yeah.
And the halogen light shone down. Its glare clouded by a piece of metal that had been sculpted into an ambiguous shape. That's just not possible. You know what it is. It's a triangle, it's a square, it's a circle. There's no shape that it's like, what the fuck is this?
That's a good point.
But the rest of the light shone down on Beastie's body, which was slouched with the confusion of a lost child.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to slouch like that, where you're like, is that a lost child over there? While he's slouching.
He's forlorn. Beastie's
yes.
Not to look ahead, but he's down bad. He confesses that Mimi was just a rat, basically.
Yeah.
And he says she's leaving me. I can't give her what she wants. She wanted kids. Oh no, they had kids. Of course, once we had kids, she would. Oh no, they didn't have kids though.
No.
Right?
But he wants that. He wants a perfect life with her. He just doesn't think that's going to happen. I do have here. I just kind of like chuck a little note. There was a mustached man was playing out his final set listlessly at a piano. Like the music, like he just clocks that the guy that's playing the piano in the hotel bar has a mustache.
So Chuck gets so drunk he passes out.
But he also tells him, "I don't like your fucking drawing, dude."
Oh, right.
He passes out. He does tell him, he goes, you were just gonna shoot on the guy, and then afterwards we were gonna fire you. But I talked to Vince into keeping you on.
Right. Yeah.
He says, "Thanks, man," and then he leaves. Mimi no-showed. They have a match by themselves.
At the Omni.
Yeah, and it turns out that Mimi's just quitting.
Yeah.
Or did I get a hit?
So that means Shawna's got to leave.
Yeah, so Shawna goes, "I got fired." And then he's like, "Oh man, that stinks." And she's like, "Okay." And then she left. She's like, "Fuck you."
Yeah.
And he's sitting there going, "What was I supposed to say?"
Well, no, so she didn't say "fuck you." She snorted.
Yeah. She snorted. And then he's like looking around for her. The entire time she's just sitting in the lobby watching him like go back and forth, back and forth. And he's like, "Why didn't you say anything?" He's like,
"Oh, right.
I don't know. You just seem determined." Okay, that's a weird move, but he says in the last 2 years, because she's like, "You're always on drugs and alcohol." And he's like, "I have to be. I've had three broken bones." And I'm like, in 2 years, you've had 3 broken bones. Like most bones. And I'm thinking about like recovery time. What bones are he breaking? What's going on? Dozens of concussions. That's bad. In 2 years. Which maybe explains why his trance is. He's severe CTE.
Yeah.
Severe. He's Chris Benoit like right away. 2 years into his career, he's like, "Fuck, I don't know where I live." Sprained wrists, ankles, and dislocated shoulders. Bret Hart would look at this guy and be like, "What are you doing wrong? What's happening here? It's fake."
Yeah.
We're talking about, she calls him Michael Harding.
Yeah.
Then they kiss.
But I like this exchange, though, because she says, "You take those pills anyway." And he says, "Maybe I would. I like the way they make me feel." And she says, "You mean not feel."
Yeah.
What a burn.
You drug-addled fool. You zombie. He's probably staring at her like, drool coming down his mouth. He kisses her, and you better believe he parts her lips with his tongue.
Oh.
And he felt her respond. And I closed my eyes.
That could mean so many things.
The world fell away, and I was almost tempted to put a hammerlock on her to ensure that she'd stay there forever. As though she were reading my mind, she immediately pulled away. as if she sensed she was in danger. She was like, oh, fuck. Oh, God. And then she said, I haven't fought with anyone like this in a long time. Who is the last poor bastard? I grinned weakly. She just shook her head and was like, I'd be so, if I was Shawna, I'd be like, what am I doing? This guy's a fucking maniac. They're back in Cleveland. Again. This is one of the, what if he's just so drugged out, they've never left Cleveland? It's just a week. They're in Cleveland. He's like, it's been 30 days. I don't know what time it is.
That's where this big match is, huh? Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Which, like I said, I think Owen Hart is fresh in his mind, and he's like, I don't understand why someone would be compelled to do what's about to happen. To be like, I need to end my life. Spoilers. Savage takes a header off the cage to end his life. When you wrote that, I was like,
on purpose.
Why?
On
yeah,
purpose.
why? I was like, why? Like, you could just overdose. He could drink himself to death. He could do all kinds of things. But then he's like, I'm going to kill myself in front of everybody.
With just a swan dive.
Permanently scar people for life. It just seems like out of character. Of course, I'm putting Savage. This is Chuck Beasty. This might be in character for Chuck Beasty to do something so outrageous. But he does say, I love you, brother.
Yeah.
And he goes, I love you too, stud. And then he's like ready for him to elbow drop him through the cage. And then he's like, oh, he's just staying on the edge there. And then he goes, whee! He jumps off head first. And then I would like to know what the call was by Renando and Rockhart on that. Was he broken in half? Was he like,
right.
He's not fucking moving.
Right, they say blood's coming out of his ears.
Blood's coming out of his ears. Does
like
Rockhart...
like a regurgitated secret.
Oh my god! Yeah, I highlighted regurgitated secret. Well, you know, like how you regurgitate a secret, it's like how blood leaks out of your ears. Larry, this makes sense. Did Rockhart continue the show? And how does Dave Meltzer feel about it?
I did read on. I did because I still didn't know if that was storyline. You know
like you thought maybe he was dreaming this or something, or no,
or
like he was doing it within.
But no, his death was ruled.
Like,
his death was ruled accidental.
That can't be accidental. If you look, if you have footage of a guy standing at the edge of a cage and he looks down, and then he just jumps down head first, that's suicide.
Yes,
that's not accidental. I guess it has to be so that people aren't like, what's going on in that company? Why did this happen?
So yeah, another preview.
It's like he tripped. You're like, oh, that sucks.
Right. Well, maybe they're just kayfabing it so that it doesn't look so bad. That he was gonna flip.
The Jimmy Snuka thing. Rockhart talked to the police and was like, I think he tripped. I don't.
Yeah.
I was there.
No, but there's going to be a wrestling war next chapter because there's the ICW, and they're owned by Brad Burner, who is a television mogul. And him and Thomas Rockhart Jr. were classmates in Connecticut growing up. And that's why they're rivals.
Again, that's a little Peller twist to be like, wouldn't it be cooler if Ted Turner and Vince McMahon were related? Wouldn't that be more dramatic?
Why did they start feuding? One afternoon, Thomas had supposedly refused to let Brad have a swing of the baseball bat.
Jesus. Ben, like what? He's like, this would be cool. Okay, so what started it? I don't know. I didn't think that far. Man, Brad Burner, Ted Turner and Vince are brothers. I think if you pitched that to Vince, he'd be into that idea. He'd be like, yeah. God, God damn, this book is fucking. Like I said, it starts out. Sometimes you're like, what the fuck are you doing? And then he'll be like punching at me, and you're going, Jesus Christ, like what the hell's wrong with you?
Yeah.
I've read a lot of like even in Bret Easton Ellis, like in American Psycho. It's been a long time since I read it. I don't think he ever was like, so they tried a pussy juice right on my mouth and the shit on my back. I mean, he talked about like, oh, I drew this, I drew that, I did this, but it's like, I don't know. What do you think, Larry? So we're gonna finish the book next. That's it. We're gonna finish this out.